Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who has reasons to believe his girlfriend has been cheating on him with her new photographer friend. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. My girlfriend 29 and I 28 have been together for 5 years, and everything's been going great. We moved in together on our 4-year anniversary and have been making plans to establish our lives together. We've talked about buying property together, getting married, kids, retirement, and everything else two people in love feel confident to go for. A few months ago, my girlfriend's sister invited us to her baby shower. They insisted that it was a small and intimate family affair, so I was happy to be included. The baby shower was simple and meaningful. We played some games and shared stories, ate food, and generally had a good time. Plus, my sister had hired a professional photographer, 32 male, to document the whole event. My girlfriend immediately gravitated to the photographer. She likes having her photo taken, no matter the time, no matter the occasion, to update on her social media accounts and whatever else she uses photos for. He was also happy enough to indulge her alongside his work. They talked through the afternoon, and later when the photographer was officially off the clock, he decided to hang out a little longer. He eventually offered her a free photo session. She was ecstatic over the offer and immediately shut off some ideas for what she wanted. At that time, I was next to my girlfriend, so he quickly added that it could be a couple's photo shoot. I turned it down. It was clear I wasn't exactly wanted, and I had things to do. Also, I don't enjoy having my photo taken. So they agreed on when to meet and what to do, and we left for home. That one photo shoot went great from what I heard. I also saw some of the photos, and they were very well done. She came home raving about his professionalism and how those were the best pictures she had taken in her life. She rode that wave for a while, mentioning him every now and then. With time, she seemed to forget about him since she didn't mention him often, so I thought that was the end of it. About 3 weeks after that initial meet, the photographer started calling her more often with modeling offers. He said she was the new face of his photography and used her to model clients' products, clothes, furniture, bags, etc., or places, restaurants, schools, or boutiques. Then sometimes they just met for him to brush up on his skills. It all seemed like harmless fun with them all dabbling in their hobbies, so I didn't pay much attention to it. However, the more my girlfriend hung out with him, the more fights we were having at home. She would pick fights over petty stuff that never used to bother her before. How I wasn't liking all her photos on social media, how I wasn't supportive of her career, how lazy or antisocial she found me. It seemed like there was something wrong every day. Then she would just storm off. She did it a lot, but she always kept coming back. I thought for a while it was just mood swings, so I always tried to make amends. Then we had a big fight. Like all the rest, it seemed to escalate from nowhere. One minute we were trying to coordinate our vacation days. The next she was screaming about my poor planning skills, how no one can put up with me as long as she has. I had had enough of her fights, so there was some back and forth and some regrettable statements were said. She stormed off like she usually does, and I thought it would be nice for us to cool off then get back together. But then I couldn't reach her for a whole day. Her phone and location were off. I tried the usual places she goes to with no luck. I called around her close friends and family, but none of them seemed to know where she was. A few of them did hint that she might be with the photographer on a late-night photo shoot or tagging along for one of his gigs, but I didn't pursue those leads. I figured she had barely known the guy for a year, so she wouldn't run to him when she was distressed. Anyway, after I had exhausted everyone I could talk to, I let it go. I didn't like the idea of her hanging out with the photographer to heart, but I had a nagging feeling about where our relationship was. The last few weeks had not been our usual dynamic, and I proposed to prod a little deeper. So that's where I'm at now. Any advice? Update. My girlfriend came back the very next day like nothing had happened, like she had been doing every other time we had a fight. She was all smiles and polite, asking about me and what I would like. I was on my guard the whole time, especially since she didn't want to answer where she had been the night before. I figured I would get some answers from her phone. So we had dinner and I got her drunk since she's not a heavy drinker most of the time. I used her fingerprint to unlock her phone while she was passed out. I went through her gallery and found professional nudes of her taken by the photographer. I was pissed and stunned because she had always made such a big issue about digital security and why she would never take nudes. I couldn't believe her double standards. Anyway, I printed some of them out with my printer and pasted them on the headboard the next morning for when she woke up, along with a note letting her know that she should be out by the time I came home. I got a call from her sometime during the day, when I guess she must have woken up, and she kept begging me so we could make up. Apparently the pictures weren't what I thought and had meant nothing. She had been coerced into the whole thing and she was the victim in this case. She needed me on her side. I forwarded those messages to the photographer and blocked her. I guess the coercion and victim claim threw him off, since she could escalate it any way she wished, and last I heard, they had a massive falling out. I don't know where she is now or what she's doing. I feel traumatized by everything that happened, and I don't know how I will start trusting another person again. I'm sorry your relationship ended the way it did, OP. Although you didn't see your ex-girlfriend cheating on you with the photographer, I believe she had been exhibiting all the characteristics of a cheater. She may have not cheated on you physically, but she totally was cheating on you emotionally. That's why she was suddenly comparing you to her AP in her mind, which led to you two fighting. It's also the reason why she suddenly wasn't satisfied with you anymore. I think she stayed with you because you felt she already had a future with you. And she wasn't sure where things were heading with her AP, but it was only a matter of time before she left you if he wanted her to. So overall, you did the smartest thing a person could do in your situation. I understand that it'll take time to trust someone else again, but with time, you'll heal. I hope the next person you open your heart to treats you a lot better. Story 2. First, some background. My girlfriend 21 and I 23 male started dating 2 years ago. We were great for a year and a half. Literally the best relationship you could ask for. We did everything together. I became good friends with some of her friends, and she became good friends with one of my friends. I only have a few and we're all pretty antisocial. I was 100% convinced that I was going to marry this girl. My parents and family loved her too. We discussed marriage, our kids, what kind of life we were going to have, everything. I was in heaven. Then I found out she had been flirting and sexting one of her exes. He lives in Canada and we're in California, so it never went further than that. And when I found out, I was heartbroken to say the least. In hindsight, this should have really set up more alarm bells and red flags. But whatever, 2020 and all that. We eventually got past it. We both worked through it, and honestly, I think breaking up over that would have been a mistake. Then 2 or 3 months later, I find out that she's again flirting with some other guy at her school. I get really pissed about it, but she claims it's nothing, and just how friends talk and joke with each other sometimes. I put flirting in quotes because it could be considered friendly banter. But considering what happened before, I was upset and apprehensive. A few weeks later, after she had been distant for a while, we broke up. She said she wasn't sure what she wanted. She wants to experience college life, and she's not in a good place to be in a relationship right now. This is mid-October of last year. We decided we'll stay friends, and it was okay for a while. I'm pretty depressed, but I still hang out with her and her friends every now and then. And it's not awkward or anything. I admit I was trying to get her back. Probably harder than I should have tried, but it worked. We got back together on Christmas Day. She says she's done a lot of thinking over the past 3 months, and she's confident that she wants to spend her life with me. All is well until mid-February, when I catch her once again flirting with another guy. I'm so beyond upset. We had gotten each other promise rings. We were talking about our future again. She had reassured me multiple times she was sure she wanted to be with me. We talked for hours, and I got really upset and heated at times. She was crying a lot, and ultimately we decided to do couples counseling. And it's going to take a lot for me to rebuild that trust in her. Now, we get to yesterday. She's been distant again, and I find out she's still seeing this guy. He would come over to her house a couple times. She's flirting with him at school and at work. I storm out, and for a while, eventually when I come back, we talk a lot again. She says she loves me and is in love with me, but is starting to develop feelings for this guy too. I ask her to choose, and she says she can't. She's going to counseling to figure out what's going on. We broke up. I feel hurt and betrayed and lost. I'm so angry that after 2 years, all it takes is some guy that she's known for a few weeks, and all of a sudden she has feelings for him too. I'm angry that they can keep dating and seeing each other guilt-free while she figures it out. I'm angry that after everything, it happened again. Even though we're staying friends and everything, I still lost my girlfriend. I lost the future we had planned together. I'm not 100% sure what my question here is. I just feel so depressed and lost. What should I do now? She told me she can't pick between the two of us, but I feel like she did pick him when we broke up. Instead of deciding to not cheat and go to counseling to figure it out, she decided she wanted him and now is free to keep dating him and seeing him while she figures it out. I know in general the advice here is to leave and don't look back, but I know I would take her back in a heartbeat if she wanted to. I love her and I still see a life with her. We are still going to be friends for now, maybe even best friends, because she really is my best friend no matter what, but I will always want more. This sucks. I don't even know if we're treating this like a permanent break or a temporary break while she figures everything out. Either way, it sucks, but at least if I know, I can try and deal with it either way. OP, you're gonna be fine. You're in love with her, and you're totally sure you want a future with her even though you're both still young. However, your ex isn't like you. She isn't sure if you're the one. She doesn't know if she's in love with you. I bet she is not, and she's still searching for that high that comes with crushing on someone new, flirting with them, and getting infatuated. For now, she's always going to search for that high, and when the high is gone, she's probably going to dump the guys and come running back into your arms, because she knows you'll have her. If this is what you want, then continue with your plan. But if it's not, then you should recognize that you deserve someone who loves you as much as you love them. Someone who wouldn't leave after it gets boring. And someone who wouldn't flirt with multiple guys behind your back. Your heart might still have feelings for her, but keep yourself from having anything to do with her. It will hurt, but you'll grow to thank yourself for it.